This is section 29 from Caesar's De Bello Gallico, book 5. In the Mueller text, we are looking at lines 1 through 12 at the end of the period there, at the end of the sentence with extincta. So in reply to these things, what Cotta and the rest of the soldiers have argued in this council to debate what they should do in the aftermath of Ambiorix's speech to them. So in response to these things, Titurius was shouting again and again and again that they would do things, that they would act essentially sero too late, when greater bands of the enemies, with Germans having been joined to them, had gathered, or when something of a calamity, some calamity had been received, had been accepted in nearby winter quarters. He was klamatabating, and he's going to keep doing it for the entire section, so another section where we're in the indirect statement. And he was klamatabating, he was shouting again and again that the occasion for obtaining counsel, the occasion, the opportunity for discussing matters, consulting each other, was brief, was short. And he was klamatabating, he was shouting again and again that they thought that Caesar had set forth into Italy. Otherwise, and I'm going to come down here and grab CLA adesset. If he were there, if he were present, well, neither would the Carnutes have taken a plan of killing Tasgetius, or maybe just to kill Tasgetius here with the gerundive. Nor would the Eburones have come to our camp with such great contempt for us. So a word about the tenses here. Kapturos fuisse, or what we are probably used to seeing as kapturos esse. These are the future infinitives. And inside this indirect statement and the subordinate clauses, dependent on if, it sounds better to almost treat these as future passives, or maybe future perfects here. Not future passive, future perfect. So will have or would have captured. If Caesar were here, then they would have not taken on this plan, and if he were here, they would not have come to our camp. And he keeps going here. So, and he was klamatabating that the enemy doesn't recommend, or rather that they don't, that he doesn't view the enemy as the author, but he views the situation itself as the author. And he was klamatabating that that the Rhine was at hand, that that they were nearby the Rhine, and he was klamatabating that the death of Ariovistus and our recent victories were to the Germans a great grief. So Magno Dolori is one dative, and Germanis is two datives, and together that makes a double dative. So they were a great source of grief to the Germans, is a nice way of translating this. So we have a dative of purpose for you grammar lovers, and a dative of reference making up that double dative. So Ariovistus's death and our recent victories were of a great grief to the Germans. And he was klamatabating that Gaul was burning, was on fire, was incensed with so many injustices, injuries, insults having been received. And then we have this participial phrase describing Gallium, that Gaul, having been reduced under the power of the Roman people, was burning, with its former military-ish glory having been extinguished. Let me go back and talk about that. So with its glory extinguished is the ablative absolute, and former here superiore. And then rei militaris, of course, is the genitive here. So with the glory of their military situation, military affairs extinguished.